Hi there and welcome back, friends of a thoughtful gaming experience. This is your host, Emmanuel Can, and we're going to proceed with our Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. Our Let's Play Torment Tides of Numenera, as you see here. And explore, that is. This is the beta version, patch 1 of this game. So not all of the graphics are yet as beautiful as they will be, surely. There's not every content unlocked yet, but it is already a great, captivating game with a great story. Now, the last time we spoke to that cult of cannibals we have left just now, and we have found some answers to the sorrow sculptor, as I called him. Sophie is his name. He wanted us to find out something about the Dendra or her and the corpse they had. And it is the corpse of a poor being that was killed by the sorrow, which Sophie managed to look at while the murder was done. And now he uses all his life to try to depict the now deceased. And we said we wanted to help him, which we will. We now found out that the last prey of the sorrow was a cast-off like us. This cast-off has been sucked dry, mind and body alike, soul and heart gone off, so that even the Dendra or her who eat corpses to find out the knowledge of the dead couldn't get anything from him. And we took some intellect damage trying to reveal that mystery, so we need to rest right now. That is the first thing we're going to do, because our pools are pretty empty. Tranquility bows as you enter. Welcome back, friend, you have been missed. I'd like a room. Of course, as before, the price is 2 shins per person. And there you go. And we're resting. Wake up, a woman says, and you do. She stands, arms folded, watching you with a grim expression. There's been another murder in the underbelly, she says, a little mutant named Crooked Quick. Fulsome wants words with you. She turns to walk away. If I were you, I'd head down there now. Another murder. Oh, the poor Crooked Quick. Ooh. She was a young woman, the last of her tribe in the underbelly. And I suspect we were the last seeing her alive. But first we want to go to the Sorrow Sculptor. Only then will we go down to Fulsome. Because maybe he can tell us more about the sorrow then. Let's see. And it is a specialty of this game. It has never been that apparent to me in other games that this is a thing, but in Torment Tides of Numenera, if you take a quest, you should really run to do that quest and nothing else. Why is that? Because there's always something happening there, bound by time. in other games you may have a quest, you take that quest, you take a couple of quests and then you go on to resolve them. But in this game, this will lead to many quests just failing. So, seems like we may have failed another time. But now let's talk to Sophie. Sophie glowers blankly at the sky, his battered fingers sculpting the air, his lips moving silently. So, you're still at an impasse? Impasse is a kind word. I call it stuck, defeated, useless. Who and where are the Dendra her again? Pack of damnable corpse gobbers with pretensions of mysticism. You can find them in their chapel in the underbelly. Goodbye, and it seems like he didn't find out the thing he wanted. That's not good. So, without any further ado, we should go to the underbelly now. Speak to Fulsome quickly. There we go. Even more murders here. Wow. Some of the thugs here. Aligern, which we could get as a companion. We'll have to leave Calistique aside then. She's more intellectual. Oh, let's look there. Let's investigate that. There's another symbol. Look at that. Tiny skinned hand rests palm down at the center of a huge pool of blood. On the nearby wall, someone has drawn a bloody circle, pierced by jagged symbols. Inspect the hand. The pool of blood. The skinned hand at the center of the pool is small and misshapen. Nothing else remains of the victim. Inspect it again. Blood ripples around the tiny hand's fingertips. No other details leap to your attention. Examine the bloody circle. Your hand reaches toward the streaks and bubbles of blood on its own accord, and an iron spike drives through your temples. You stand for a blank wall. Sickening purple-black light spills around the corner behind you. This is your temple, and you have been driven into a dead end by her. Blood seeps through the wall from the other side, drawing the familiar shape. Frightened, confused, you trace the line, and a gate opens with a wet crunch. The vision collapses. But the memories are not done with you yet, it seems. Another bulges through your thoughts, closing around you. We'll surrender to it. Fresh blood streams over the circle, yanking you through the hollow at its center into the world beyond. Tumorous, throbbing clouds hang from a grey sky over a landscape riven by raw, crusted wounds. Jagged ruins are visible here and there like splinters embedded in blistered flesh. Many-legged things crawl through them, moaning against the stone, and though you are far away, you know they sense you. You can feel their minds spilling toward you, seeking, tasting. Joyful, hungry, you shove the horrific memory away from you, slamming your mind shut like a door and swallowing the knot of nausea in your throat. After seeing that world, the bloody pool at your feet seems almost mundane. Examine it again. It's immediately clear that the dashes and bleeding pinpricks decorating this circle are not random. This is a symbol drawn with careful intent. Unfortunately, it means nothing to you. Before you can look away from the circle, a memory bulges through your thoughts, and the memory isn't yours. is this? Another memory. Alright, surrender to it again. Oh, it's the same one. Damn that. But at least we gained additional XP. Let's leave. Let's go to Fulsome. Oh my, oh my. He beckons at you, a hard, sharp motion, his jaw set, his teeth partly bared. Someone else was murdered in your absence, he says. A woman called Crooked Quick was killed beside the water. He turns his face from you. I ask that you share any new information that you have. And if you do not have any, find some. Do you have any new insights on the killer's motives? I do not. Weedle was a cornerstone of my plan for this city, he says with his voice tight. His death pains me and will hurt this city in the years to come. He shakes his head slowly, tendons leaping in his neck. But Quick's death has only robbed the underbelly of her smile. I cannot imagine why she was a target. Scan thoughts the killer might be mistaken. Confused is more likely. Thank you and goodbye. Mapper. He is deep in study of the living map on his skin. He doesn't look up as you intrude, but you can feel a portion of his attention shift to you. You're back. I hope the world opened its wonders to you, or at least showed you something new. Yeah, well, a murder. Let's talk to everyone again. Maybe we'll find something out. Mechela. Nothing. Let's talk to the manufacturing workers. Maybe they know something. Nope. Nothing at all. Let's go back to the Dendra O'Her. Did they claim the corpse already? It is really... it is a thing. There's only a hand left. If the Dendra O'Her would eat someone, there wouldn't be much left, right? As odd as this sounds. We will have to try again with him B2. Welcome back. I see you are still on your feet. You notice he seems disappointed about this, despite his feverish cheer. I have more questions about the trouble in the underbelly. Oh dear, he says. I was hoping it was all over by now. Someone is murdering people. One of them was Fulsome's protégé. Do you know anything about it? I don't, she says. I wish I did. Even in the best of times, Fulsome is such a surly dinner companion. I can only imagine his mood now. Are you sure? Right. And let's talk to his guys anyway. Let's talk to Mallet. The burly man sneers at you, flexing massive scarred hands that could easily encircle your throat. His tongue probes his stain-sharpened teeth, and a short blood-stained club swings from a hook at his waist. So what you doing down here, shill meat, he says, playing in the dark. He chuckles long and low. Mollet, Tiber mutters through a frozen grin. This numb slab beat his partner to death over 2 shins. Scan thoughts, I'm the one who turned him in. Can't trust him farther than you can throw him, or even push him. Have you been part of the Dendra O'Her for long? No, not long, he says. What sort of work did you do before? I broke stuff, he says, his eyes gleaming with dull humor. And don't think I don't recognize you. He adds, looking over at Tiber. I remember you and what you did. What I did? Tiber says, scratching his jaw. What I did? Oh, you're talking about how I told everyone you killed your partner for less than the cost of dinner. He smiles, but his eyes are cold. I'd do it again, and for free. Doesn't matter. Mallet shrugs. None of that stuff matters anymore. This is my place now. Scan thoughts. I don't do that anymore. Not for revenge, anyway. Aha. Tell me about the Dendra or her. Don't have to tell you nothing, he says, snorting. You ain't one of us. You ain't nobody. Jerks his skin at Imbitu. You want a tour? You talk to him. I'm busy. There's a murderer loose in the underbelly. Do you know anything about that? I know I'm not supposed to run my mouth about it, he says, folding his arms. Not unless Imbitu says so. Scan thoughts. Didn't lose anybody that matters, I say. Just a few questions. Yeah, I want a lot of things too. But unless Imbitu gives you the go-ahead, I ain't saying nothing. Not much for conversation, are you? Way I see it, he drawls, is I don't know you. You ain't done nothing for me, and we got nothing to talk about. Not now, anyway. He crosses his arms. So why should we? You'll open up if we have something to talk about. Oh yeah, he snorts. You won't be able to shut me up. Ah, goodbye. Let's talk to these guys anyway, as I said. Maybe. Kiyatawa, this woman watches you, measuring every step, every twitch of your hands, and yet there is no fear in her. Iron lines her spine and presses her mouth into a thin, even line. You take a wrong turn, she says, studying the nails on her right hand. Don't see many people down here for the light or the company. She steals a cautious glance at a hawking cultist nearby, then returns her gaze to you. You want something? How long have you been a Dendro? Her? Long enough, she says. Thought I'd found a place I belong. Guess I was wrong. She falls silent. How many false families until I find my true one? Oh, okay, so she might be talking to us. Why don't you feel like you belong in the Dendro? Her? She exhales, crushing her eyelids shut. Never mind, I shouldn't have said anything. Why don't you talk to Imbitu? He's the expert. What's bothering you? Nothing, no offense, but I don't know you at all. Leave me alone, all right? A murderer is loose in the underbelly. Can I ask you some questions? No, she says, and tilts her hand towards Imbitu. The old man doesn't want us getting involved. Are you sure? Not without the old man's permission, she says, waving a hand at Imbitu. Goodbye. Examine the thing again. No. Nothing. Oh, let's talk to Xei. This short, squat woman hunkers on the ground, raking absently at the swollen red tattoos, decorating every inch of her pale flesh. Her claws draw blood, but she doesn't seem to notice. Her head jerks up at the sound of your footsteps, and her too large mouth widens in a sharp-toothed smile. We greet you, tenderling. Yes, we honor your arrival. Her eyes rove over your body hungrily. What brings you to the Dendra or her? What do you wish to share with us? Her grey and pointed tongue swipes at the ritual scarring around her lips, leaving a glistening sheet of saliva. Who are you? We are Xai of the... She pauses. You may not know the word, but we come from another world, a heavier one. More rocks and less life. She rubs her arm absent-mindedly. Why do you keep saying we? Because we are we, she says, blinking. Only newborn tenderlings are I, and that is only until their first meal of milk. Our world is not like yours, she says. It is not so rich. There are no animals, no... She pauses, frowning. Vegetables? None of those. The only flesh is human flesh, she sighs. But we are blessed. When we eat bodies, nothing is lost except the corpse. The soul is preserved. She spreads her hand. The dead one becomes part of us. It becomes we. That sounds incredibly similar to the Dendra or her philosophy. Yes, she says, delighted. That is why we are here. We heard rumors of the Dendra or her's magic. She says, concentrating. Your language tenses clearly give her trouble. It does not stop at the soul. It pulls memories from dead flesh and soaks them into the mind. She gives you a rapturous smile. So we came through a portal in the bloom to learn this magic. We found our way to Segas. We asked Imbitu to let us join, and he did. She sighs. Now the portal is gone, we hear, but we will make another in time. How many bodies have you eaten? We do not share this, she chuckles. We prefer our feasts to be private. But many, we find our feasts on our own. Interesting. What do your people really believe again? We consume the flesh of our dead to preserve them, to remember them and give them eternal life. A murderer is loose in the underbelly. Do you know anything about that? We are not to speak of that, she says, glancing at Imbitu. We do not have permission. Scan thoughts, foolish tenderling. There has been no murder. Aha. No murder, but a meal. What does that mean? I've got some questions about the Dendra or her. No, she chuckles, then covers her mouth with a barbed claw. No, we are not the voice of the Dendra or her, tenderling. Speak with Imbitu instead. Savor his words and drink of his thoughts. Why doesn't Imbitu want you to speak about the murderer in the underbelly? We do not know, she says, looking away. We do not ask. Ask her again. All right. We will miss you, tenderling, all of you. Well. Don't know what we're doing next, but we want to find this out. There seems to be a wall of silence, and we will try to break it down in the next episode, so hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for watching. Happy gaming to you. This is Immanuel Can, signing out.